Welcome back to another episode of Three Girls, Three Guys, sports media podcast where five voices, one mic, and zero boring takes come together. On today's episode, we will be talking about audiences, fans, and identity with special guest UVA baseball player Thomas O'Connell. Before we dive into our episode, we're going to kick things off with our round table. But before we get to that, we're going to go around the panel and introduce yourselves again. I'm
Okay.
Michaela.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm
are you
Michaela.
good? You're good. You're good. I'm Becca.
I'm Lily.
I'm Liam.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Eli. It's my first episode. I'm a sports communication major. I'm a junior, and fun fact, I'm watching the Liverpool game right now as I'm
Ooh.
doing this podcast. We just tied it.
Nice.
Who scored?
Multitasking.
Mo Salah,
Who are you? Wait, who are you rooting for?
Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan.
Gotcha.
Okay. Guys, that's soccer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is-
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure
Wait, is it like USA soccer or like what's
No,
Liverpool?
it's Premier League soccer, which it's English. It's
Uh,
like the highest level of soccer over there.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. Well, as stated previously, we're talking about fan identity and stuff like that. So, we each have stuff that we're going to talk about, just like the last episode. And I'm gonna, kick things off with the uses and gratification theory. It sounds extremely boring, I know, but it's actually very simple. Uses and gratification. People, in this case, people watch a sport because it is fulfilling some sort of need that they have. Literally the simplest thing ever. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because every fan has some experience with uses and gratification. So do I. Um, I never grew up as like a football fan or like a sport fan or anything like that. I was a girly girl, little like not teenager, I guess, but like tween, I guess. And sports was just never on my radar. Um, but then the summer before freshman year, I was like, well, you're going to Clemson. You should probably like understand football a little bit because that's like a huge thing. So I started watching football and I actually really liked it. I really liked it. But where uses and gratification comes into this is recently at the maybe last year, in between seasons, in between the football season, I was like, well, what do I do now? Like I'm bored, like I have nothing to watch.
no, literally.
And I watched hockey.
Ooh.
I and I never thought I would be watching hockey, but I started watching hockey and all my friends were like, "What are you doing? Like you know nothing about hockey, but I had like a need to watch something like live sports, something like exciting, and hockey was on, so I started watching it. I actually really like it. I'm still into hockey. I watched the Olympic hockey like tournament and I had like the best time ever.
Wait, who's your favorite hockey team?
Okay, so I like the Carolina Canes because,
Mhm.
we're close. But I
Yeah.
also really like the San Jose Sharks. Love. Um, I love the team a lot. So that's who they're actually playing later tonight, so I'll be tuning in. Hopefully they don't lose. They really need to win to be in
Not you
contention.
like hockey. Like, what do you feel about the USA like men's hockey team just like, winning gold for the first time in like forever? How do you
Yeah,
feel about that?
it was actually it was really exciting, but also kind of okay. So some of the players from San Jose played for Canada, and some of them were playing, or nobody was playing for US, but I'm a US citizen, so obviously I'm gonna pull for the US.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be a win-win either way. I'm definitely glad that the US pulled through even
Mm.
though, there's always controversy. They had to go
Mhm.
and ruin a good thing, but Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. Um, but that also goes into something I also wanted to talk about, fan experience as a female. Um, you start watching different sports and people see you enjoying different sports and then they're like, "Oh, you're just watching it for the hot guys, right?" So,
I
yeah,
mean, sometimes.
yes. Yes, I am, but also I'm a fan because it's exciting. Do I watch football and hockey because they're hot? Yeah. Also, it's really exciting. It's fun to uh to pull for a team and, like root for somebody. Um, so yeah, everybody has experience with the uses and gratification theory. Um, and yeah, as females, don't let people tell you that you're only watching sports for the men. It's a benefit, but it's not everything.
Preach.
There you
I
go.
agree. I agree. Um, I
Funny.
guess expanding on what she said, fans do, play a huge role in how we connect with teams and each other. Like, it's just not about watching the games. It's about having that sense of belonging. We're Clemson students. We know how football season is. Like, the name Death Valley just has that boom. We think about tailgating. We think about alumni, the marching band. We think about Howard Rock. For us, it's not about the game. It's just being a part of the community. The CIGERS, that chant, like you know, it's in our community for like the fans themselves. Um, of course, the fan experience is not the same for each sport. Compared to basketball season, it just for me, it's not the same for football. Some sports may have smaller crowds, less media coverage, or fewer traditions, which change how we as fans connect with the team with each other. Um, but the idea does remain the same at the end of the day. People invest themselves in a part of that team. They make their own rituals, their own experiences, and like I said, that sense of belonging, goes beyond the sport itself. Being identity does shape the fans, family, and the wider community. Like I feel like I'm connected to you guys because we go to Clemson. We're basically a family. I'm wearing the team colors, the orange and purple, say attending the games or following, our favorite athletes on social media. We can always express our loyalty in some type of way. I know for boys, boys love LeBron. LeBron is just, the greatest man to ever walk on earth. So, whereas, females, I don't know, cool, to be honest. But anyways, um, we found a way to express our loyalty and make it a part of who we are. It's personal, it's cultural, it's social. It's just a way to connect with something bigger than ourselves. No matter the sport, the fan experience is more than watching a game. It's about the community, our emotions, our identity. Being a fan gives people a space to belong, to celebrate, and to carry that connection with them long after the final play and the final whistle.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
good.
kind of building off of like the fan identification. From one of the readings that we had, chapter 15 BH, I found a quote that was kind of interesting, and it said that research on fan identification suggests individuals who identify with a successful team or player exhibit high levels of self-esteem. So I kind of find that kind of similar to like kind of relating back to Clemson as a football season this year, how he kind of struggled this year. I felt like I felt like at some points during like just Mondays walking to school, like, it just felt like the whole kind of morale of the school was down. I mean, I really never followed Clemson football before, but it just seemed, I know definitely in their past they've had many, many great seasons and just the way this season kind of went. I think that really the performance of the team really has the ability to impact kind of the overall morale of their fans, obviously. And another thing that I found was interesting was talking about for kind of like interaction with fans. It said that marketers should focus on brand building through engagement with fans. So I think it's kind of interesting, like when a team really isn't performing to their best of their abilities, like Clemson did this past year with football. I find it interesting to see kind of like look at what tactics, like how is Clemson going to still interact with their fans to keep them engaged when they're losing to teams like Duke or Syracuse or stuff like that? I think it's something definitely that is going to be really important for the marketing side of Clemson football from now and going forward, that they're really going to have to focus on. We're not going to be making the college football playoffs every season, and we're not going to be winning national championships left and right. So I think it's really going to be important for kind of just the marketing side to really have a grip kind of with the students and be able to engage with them to kind of keep them going to games and kind of just making sure that they're still interacting even when not everything's going perfectly. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely does impact like morale around the campus because like at the beginning of the season, every single Friday I was wearing my orange shirt every single
Yeah.
Friday.
Yep.
And then,
You
as the
just see it
season
slowly dwindling away as the
It's like there's
season.
no
got
point
harder and
anymore.
harder.
Same with the
Yeah.
ticket prices. People, the
Yeah.
LSU ticket went for like 500, and then after that, no ticket touched like 100. And then
Yeah,
nobody was
it's
saying
it's
anything.
crazy how one game can kind of like
Impact.
impact so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
But I think part of the purpose, like Clemson has this spring game like every year to, show like, yeah, we might have had a very bad season, but like,
Yeah.
this is our chance to engage with the community, with the students. Like,
Hmm.
there's still hope. Like, we're still Clemson football.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
We're
that's
still
really
on the map.
smart doing that. I think that's really smart that they do that because like, obviously for the incoming freshmen, not everyone, like at least where I came from Connecticut, yeah, football is like no one cares about like high school football, at least for the most part. And coming to a school like Clemson where football is such a huge part, it's by providing that little like sneak peek at looking at one of their practices, it just builds excitement for the season. So I think that is really smart on the marketing side, at least for the team.
That's crazy though, because my high school is huge about our football team or their football team, and we suck. Like it's so bad, but like everyone's so hyped for it, and I'm just like, y'all suck. Like,
Yeah. I
why
felt
are
like
we so hype?
I maybe went to like 4 games throughout my whole high school time. Like
The
I
games were
did.
like the big deal, like every Friday. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
didn't
that's how we
go,
were too.
you're a loser if you didn't go. Like everyone
yeah,
went. Like,
yeah,
And it kind of goes back to like the fan experience in general because like I experienced the same thing. Football was huge where I went to high school and we were not the greatest team ever, but
yeah,
we had like did you guys have like different themes for your football
Yeah.
games? Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
You had the
that,
different themes
those
like
were so fun.
yeah. For
dressed
us,
up.
it was more basketball. Like everyone went to all the basketball games because we were pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah, now like football, they like tried to do themes and like just no one ever went.
Yeah. But like even though we sucked, like it was still a way to like hang out with friends. And so
Yeah,
like being a fan doesn't necessarily mean like, it just
fan of
gives you
the
some sort of
team.
identity. It
yeah.
gives you an identity for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kind of building off of the fan identity, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the commitments of being a fan. I don't know if y'all saw, but I had to put on my Panthers jersey halfway through because I was getting a little excited. But
Who is that?
DJ Moore.
Nice. Sick.
But yeah, I've been a Panthers fan since probably I was conscious. I remember we went like 12-4 in 2012, and I think like
Yeah.
7-9 in 2013, then 7-8-1 in 2014, 15-1 in 2015. And then after that, it's just been losing seasons until 2017 we made the
That's
playoffs,
fair.
but we lost. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
until this year, we made the playoffs again. But yeah, that kind of goes into the mental side of things. You have like your own routine. Like, me personally, I wake up every Sunday at like probably like 10:30. I watch like who's gonna like the picks for the day and stuff, get my fantasy football lineup set. And then I watch, the Panthers play, which usually has been pretty agonizing, except last year. Last
Yeah.
year's actually given some hope. But that also like plays into like fans, like when you're watching a team and you really care for that team and that team is losing, that can just ruin your day. And then
Hmm.
also that comes down to the mental health effects. But also, if you get a big win, you're on top of the world. You pull up to your friend's house like the next day and you just start talking all that mess and stuff. And then yeah, also the commitment side mentally, you're tracking team news. I don't know about y'all, but I follow like a lot of fan pages and stuff. So I know about like updates really fast and stuff. And
Hmm.
also when I talk about them, like I just say like I'm not a part of the team, but part of the fan experience is feeling like you're a part of the team when but they don't really know who you are. But there's also a few physical commitments, like obviously you want to go to a game in real life rather than like watching the TV at one point. It's really fun. And it also comes down to spending money a little bit because tickets can be a little expensive. And also another I didn't realize how until like I started researching this, but being a fan is a lot of money because I like having Red Zone and Hulu. Hulu's got live sports and stuff, so I can get the local market games. And yeah, there's just a lot of commitments. I feel like that I didn't realize that I did, but and other
Yeah.
fans did. But pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Did you go to a lot of the games or like the home games or whatever?
Unfortunately, I've only been to one so far because I don't really have that much money right now. But we're getting there. Hopefully, I'm gonna go to more next year and stuff. But yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, kind of like going off of that, I guess like with like the commitment and stuff, I feel like rivalry is a big part of fan experience. Um, for anyone that goes to Clemson, we all know USC is our rival school. And anyone that's like coming to Clemson who's not from South Carolina, you're just like it's just known to hate USC and USC students, and it's just like an unspoken rule. Which I don't know if any of y'all like had to experience that, but like for how it impacts fan experience, like there's gonna be more tailgates and like there's way more energy on the campus whenever there's a big game coming up. And like we were talking about earlier, fans we're wearing our colors to school and on campus, and then that's when like the trash talking starts to become big. I can relate to this a lot because lots of my friends go to USC. So they like to, just text me and be like, y'all are gonna lose today, and just like, okay, whatever y'all think. But I also went to the USC or the Clemson USC game this year, and that was very brutal, wearing orange, in a literal sea of garnet. I don't know how many times I got commented on, but you know what? We powered through. Um, but I guess rivalry just it generates more audience and makes fans more engaged, and there's way more emotions and it's way more intense. And then like the celebration obviously lasts longer. I mean, people are still going to be talking about how we won in football this year. I think we just won in
Baseball.
but yeah,
baseball. I don't know about basketball. I know soccer we did
Yeah,
too.
They
So
we
won
I
in
mean,
won in
basketball.
basketball.
we win at
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's not even a
I tra
rivalry anymore.
yeah.
like
Domination.
I
they can't
just
say nothing.
yeah, I just traveled down to Columbia this past Friday for that baseball game. That was a rough experience. It
Yeah,
was
we
ra
lost the one. Did you
yeah,
go to the one where we won or lost?
it was the one that we lost like 7-0, and it
Yeah.
was like raining and just getting commented on. I'm like, man, I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. It's like
So
I shouldn't be scared to wear my colors, but like I low-key am. Like when I'm in Columbia, I'm
yeah,
scared.
Columbia is brutal. Columbia
They
is nasty.
are.
Honestly, like it got me like excited. Like it was fun. Like I know, like I don't know.
Don't tell anybody, but I was raised by USC fans, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm from South Carolina. My mom and my dad raised me to be a South Carolina fan,
Oof.
but I broke the mold.
Broke it.
I
Brainwashing
refuse.
didn't work.
Good job.
It did not work. I
Got
still,
out.
but yeah,
You must be a chicken.
every time we play against each other, the trash talk in this house goes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go now. So kind of talking about what Liam was talking about, the like being a fan of a bad team. It 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 can be depressing at times, but whenever your team is eliminated from the playoffs and it's still regular season, what do you do? I mean, do you still watch even if it's a bad product? Do you just continue to watch even if it's like even you know you're going to lose and it just doesn't matter? But so I think what a lot of leagues are trying to do now is start fan engagement even in the off season, and with social media that helps a lot. I think the NFL does a really good job with it because they have something in every month. Like after the Super Bowl, it's the combine, and then it's the draft, and then what they start training camp, and it's just one thing after another in the off season. If you look at the NBA, like I'm a Hornets fan, so again, not much success there. And once we've been eliminated for the past, I think, 9 years, there's really not much to watch. And viewership goes down, ratings go down, tanking starts. But then you start thinking about in the offseason, who are we going to draft? Who are we going to take? Who are going to make this team better for next year? So it's kind of a difficult line for them to navigate because it's do you make it fair in the regular season? And if you just are a bad team, you get a better draft pick. But if you do that, then tanking starts and teams intentionally lose games, and that just ruins the integrity of the game. And nobody wants that because, again, then nobody watches the games.
Yeah, that's an interesting point to bring up. I mean, I feel like I get the idea of like tanking and stuff with that, like just to because in the end goal is to get better picks and like have the team be better to then ultimately boost fan interactivity. But I mean, at the same point, yeah, I also get what you're saying with like what in the time that they are tanking, like kind of going back to that quote that I talked about, just the whole morale of all fans are going to be down, and um the revenue for the team is going to be down, and it kind of just ruins the game that everyone wants to enjoy. So
You know it's bad when you start, getting excited for the off season.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
And I mean,
exactly.
that's what I've been doing pretty much every year as a Charlotte sports fan. The only team I've been excited about is the Braves.
Hmm.
Because they always promise hope, but oh, we signed someone new. Oh, we
Yeah.
got the number one pick and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, except
yeah.
2024 because we traded that too. That was a
Yeah.
difficult year.
That defense was terrible.
That was disgusting. It was awful.
So bad.
I think it's also important to, even if like you are experiencing like a rough time, I think it's important for teams to try and build relationships like with the fans and individual players. Because then like even when they are playing bad, like the team as a whole is playing bad, you're still invested in like individual players and um it kind of makes you want to like root for them even though like things aren't going good, even though like you're not going to the playoffs, like
Yeah.
it's just not going to be great at all. Um a lot of the hockey team, going back to hockey, a lot of the hockey teams that I follow them on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. They'll do like the little TikTok videos where it's like, I don't know. I saw one earlier where it was asking players like, it was the trend where they had to say what like the girl gadgets were, like, oh, this is a
Mhm.
pimple patch, this is like hair curlers, things like
Yeah.
that. It's like building a relationship like with these individual players and making you care even though like the team as a whole like is just, a little
Mhm.
sucky.
I love watching those videos. Like, or where they're like coming out of practice and they're like there's like a question for them to answer and they're
Yes.
funny.
They're so funny. I love them.
Wow.
Okay, any other final thoughts?
Yeah. Like even going back to, when your team is bad,
Yeah.
when when the team gets better, like the Panthers did this past year, it makes it that much better because you've been
Right.
committed to them for my whole life, and I've seen them be terrible since 2018, and we finally made it back to the playoffs this year, and it just made it that much better to see a home game at Bank of America Stadium, and one that we, were in the whole time against a team that was one of the Super Bowl favorites and very easily could have won it.
What's crazy was I think we were plus 11 and a half. So we were projected to just lose by 12 points outright. And it's so
Yeah.
disrespectful considering we beat them earlier in the season. But, I'm not trying to go on a tangent or anything, but
I could talk forever about that.
yeah, it's
I
We
am
got it
gonna
next year.
smile
We got
and
it.
nod and pretend
exactly.
like I know what y'all are talking about.
Talk about, yeah.
Yep. It was so bad.
That
But I
that's
do
right.
have a
That's
I
right.
did go to a Hornets game the weekend of my birthday. And first of all, I've been hearing about Conconoopal. Like, man is crazy on the court. Like, he's really a beast on the court. Like, 17 points, like, just back to back, back to back. Man is crazy. That's all I have to say.
He should win Rookie of the Year.
Yes, like that. Like he looks like a baby too. Like he doesn't even like he looks like he still belongs in college. But man's is crazy. Like when it comes to shooting.
Are we talking about basketball now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you
We're
really
talking about the
lost
Hornets.
me. Then
Yeah,
you have
because
really lost me.
Cooper Flag was supposed to be a shoe-in for Rookie of the Year before the season even started. And then out of nowhere, his teammate from Duke that went fourth is, I think he's first in the
Do
rookie
you,
power rankings right
is
now.
is
Really?
VJ Edgecombe up there or is it not? Is it
I think he's third. I think Edgecombe's third.
okay? Gotcha.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's been on a tear.
Did he break the record for threes made by a rookie recently or something like
Yeah,
that?
I think so.
And there's still so many games to be played.
Yeah.
What a beast. What a guy.
Okay. Okay. Well, um, thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening to our conversation. I had a lot of fun talking. Um, it's what I do best. I'm a talker. Anyways, so we are gonna continue the conversation about fan experience, with a student athlete. His name is Thomas O'Connell.
Yes.
Thomas O'Connell, a baseball player from UVA. And yeah, so we'll see you guys in like literally 5 seconds. So bye. Oh wait, hold on before we go.
Oh,
Special
the special
guest.
feature.
Special guest.
Special
Molly.
guest.
WCAT,
Welcome
young.
back, Molly.
He's so mad at me because she was asleep. Okay, now we are gonna continue this conversation. So get ready for more good takes.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys in a second.
Hey guys, today we'll be interviewing Thomas O'Connell. Thomas O'Connell is a freshman catcher for the University of Virginia. Thomas originally attended Lewis Mills High School for his freshman year before transferring to Salisbury School for sophomore through senior year. According to Perfect Game, he had a recruitment score of 10 and was ranked nationally the 13th best catcher, the 157th overall recruit, and the number one player in Connecticut. Currently short into the season, he's already batting over, he has an on-base percentage of over 300, including 5 hits and 5 RBIs. So, do you guys just want to go straight into the questions?
Yeah.
Well, we can introduce ourselves to Thomas first.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm Becca. I'm a sophomore communication major, and yeah,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too.
I'm Michaela. I'm a senior criminal justice major. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
What's up, bro? I'm Liam. I'm a sophomore accounting major.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Eli. I'm a junior. I'm a sports comm major.
Yeah, nice to
And,
meet you, Eli.
and I'm
Sweet.
Lily. I'm a marketing major.
All right, nice to meet you as well.
Okay. Yeah. And then I guess we'll just start with some icebreaker questions just to get get some base things out of the way.
Yeah.
My first icebreaker question, do you have like a specific like pregame ritual or are you like superstitious about anything like that?
Yeah, so we obviously have like we have a long pregame that we do with the team. So kind of like everybody will do the same thing for practice before. Um, but me personally, it's about my wrist tape. I put on specifically like three, I guess, rounds of wrist tape on. I've been doing it for a few years, but I guess it just kind of, signals that it's time for the game.
Hmm.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
How did you start doing that?
It was kind of situational. Back like my sophomore year of high school, I only happened to have that amount of wrist tape. And I played a good game after, and it was only those three rolls. And so I did it the next game, and I guess it just kind of caught on. But it was just because I had a really small amount of wrist tape, and that turned out to be what worked for me. Yeah.
Going off of kind of like pregame stuff, what do you have like a specific like pregame snack or meal that you like to eat?
Yeah, I do trail mix. So we keep like a lot of trail mix in the dugouts and locker rooms. Just it's got protein and a good amount of calories, so that works well for us. I have two or three little like travel packs of it before we play. Mhm.
I guess I could go.
Yeah.
Because I know obviously coming from a small town in Connecticut, it could be seen as
Mm.
like hard to kind of get your name out there in the recruitment process. So can you kind of go about and like explain like kind of like what the process looked like for you and kind of how you were able to get the attention of like so many of these prestigious baseball schools?
Yeah. So for me, um, it was I started off going like smaller showcases, just kind of like in Connecticut, New England things. And I happened to get noticed by a coach. His name's Ajay. And I guess he was kind of the guy for me that brought me into it. So he had brought me down south for a tournament, and it just kind of caught on from there, and then started talking to coaches. But I would say, yeah, I give most of the credit to him. He kind of like gave me that opportunity. I just tried to take the most of it. But yeah, it was definitely all him.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I do
Um,
have a question for you.
Yeah.
So what drew you to like UVA's baseball program compared to like the other offers you received?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, first off, um, it's for me, it's a lot about academics. That's kind of like a family thing. My mom, told me that if it's not a school that takes pride in the academic part of the student athlete, then it's probably not a good fit. So UVA is a very good school that I'm proud to be at. And then baseball wise, they just have a ton of success with not just winning in college, but producing guys that play at the next level.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff now is different than it was when I committed, but both of the coaching staffs were probably the number one reason I went. Those are the people you spend the most time with. So those are the people that, you have to trust the most with, your body, your minds, and really just everything else that comes with being an athlete.
Yeah.
sweet. Does that, does anyone else want to go with a question? I guess I could ask another one. Because you're going back to how you're talking about like your body and recovering after a game.
Yeah.
Do you have kind of like a routine that you kind of have to go through? Like, because I know obviously being a catcher, there's gonna be a lot of wear and tear on your body. So is there kind of a specific routine that you go about?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the specific one um, always because it kind of goes with what's bothering you and what's not. So, like,
Mm,
if you're having your hamstrings feeling really tight, you'll do something different. But one thing that I resort a lot to They're called Normatec sleeves, and they go on your legs, and it just kind of feels like when you get your blood pressure taken at the doctor's, and like kind of squeezes on your arm,
Yeah.
and it just goes throughout your leg. I don't know if anyone's used them, but it
Okay.
just helps a ton. And then another thing we use is just kind of like an electrical shocking, just like
Yeah.
pump the blood flow. And those things just help so much. So it's really just about getting the blood flow going when you're sleeping, when you're sitting down. Helps you get ready for the next day,
Gotcha.
for sure.
Okay.
Becca, were you gonna go ask a
Oh, well, I can't ask a question. Get into
I
some
I
of
thought you were
the
going to talk.
no, it's fine. I mean, I will. Get into some of the heavier questions. Nothing too
Yeah,
heavy. Um, so can you describe your guys' like team dynamic a little bit?
yeah, yeah. Of course. I mean, um, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just like everybody has fun, right? Like it really does start with that when you get on a team, right? Like if you don't look forward to going to, if you don't look like they're playing a game on a bus right now, but if you don't look forward to going to the locker room or spending time with the guys, you're not going to have fun playing with them. So that's the first thing that's important, and the second thing, on our team we call it kind of servant leadership. And it's about sticking and it's just about sticking up for you guys. And if something's going wrong and you think it needs to be fixed, is having the confidence to step up and saying like, "Hey, as a team, we need to do better." Um, and again, that starts with being friendly enough and comfortable enough with them that you can say that. So we have a ton of fun together. We trust all of us, um, and that's only knowing each other for some of us maybe 7 or 8 months. So it's
Mhm.
really impressive that we've been able to do all this for sure.
Yeah. And how do you guys go about like maintaining that dynamic? Are you guys, I know you guys are pretty much together like a lot of the time, but are there like outings that you guys have like outside of games and stuff like that? Or do you guys just see each other like for practices and games and stuff?
Yeah, it's funny enough you say that because as much as you do see each other on the field, it's more important to see each other off the field. So even if it's as simple as like getting food after just for like half an hour, um, or doing some homework together, you find that those times you bond even more. So yeah, like every day we don't have baseball, which isn't a lot. We'll find ourselves doing something like during one of our breaks this fall, we all went for a team trip. We went camping, kind of like out in the mountains in Virginia. It was beautiful, but we like didn't have our phones. We kind of just had and our fires, and it was a ton of fun. It was probably my favorite weekend in the fall.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a follow up on that one. So you mentioned something about coaching staff change. So
Yeah.
how does that look like, with the transfer portal guys coming in and out constantly and developing a relationship with not
Yeah,
only coach but coaches as well?
Yeah, I mean, the best way to describe it is hectic, to be honest. It happened this summer before I went, before my first fall. And so that's just a really crazy time for everybody. But I think the reason that I stayed was I was so impressed with how the new coaches handled it. Um, and so I had no idea where I was going to go, right? Like I kind of reopened my recruitment, and the hitting and catching coach actually visited me. He flew up like the next day to Vermont, which from where he was in North Carolina is quite the trip. And he came out and personally visited me and a teammate. And he was kind of like, "Hey, like it probably seems really hectic right now, but we want you to know that like this spot at UVA is still yours, and we still want you to be here." Um, and so kind of that recommitment to making a relationship kind of just changed my mind immediately. I was like, yeah, like, I want to stay with these guys. And that goes for all the coaches, not just my hitting coach, but everyone was great. Yeah.
Sweet. Kind of going back off like the transition from high school to like going to now playing in the Division One area. What would you say is like the biggest difference? Like, is there like a kind of like a welcome to college baseball moment that you've had, like facing like a certain pitcher or something like that, or like the crowd getting on you for something, or
Mhm.
do you have something like that?
Yeah, definitely. The kind of welcome to college moment was probably like my first 2 weeks of the fall. It's kind of like a separate season where you inter squad a lot, and so just kind of facing my own pitchers. Um, there was a 2 week, 2 maybe 3 week time where I didn't get a hit. Like it was just a really, really kind
Mm,
of ugly time offensively. Um, I think it's just because the game is played at not just metrically, like, velocity or strength, but just like it's played at such a high level with your mind, and how all the little details are just to perfection. And so
mm.
it definitely takes a while to get a hang of that. And so yeah, like October-ish, I was just kind of in a blender, and so I was able to get out of it. But that was definitely just like you have to realize that there's a whole other game being played that you don't see unless you're in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
And
that makes sense.
100%, yeah, Mike, that. And so
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like it's played to a whole different level, and I love it. But that was definitely an adjustment.
sweet. Does anyone else have?
Yeah, I have a question.
And
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
you're good.
okay. Going back earlier, you talked about the locker room and stuff, and I would like to ask you like what makes a good locker room culture?
Yeah. So we had a meeting about this exact same thing before the season. Um, and I would say that there's the obvious things, right? There's like picking each other up, and as I said, having fun. But I would say that it's just like it's a space where the game outside doesn't matter, right? So like you go to this game, you drop on your stuff, that you can still go in the locker room and like you don't have to feel at fault for something. Like you can still go into that locker room and be yourself, and you don't have to worry about having an issue because you dropped a fly ball. Um, and so like when you go into that locker room and like the weight room, the meeting room, the locker room, that whole area, um that's an area where you can trust all 40 something guys on the team. So you can be there for 2 hours after practice and have the best time of your life, right? Just like playing Clash Royale or something. But then also after like a hard loss, like you're cool to go in there and be yourself for sure.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
How would you describe like the UVA, like the baseball fans compared to like the other programs you have visited?
Yeah. I would say just a really good way to describe them is they're just really dedicated. Um, in terms of like, there's a lot of people that have been fans for 40, 50 years. Um, and I think that's a lot different than other programs that like maybe it's a lot of students or people who just might go on the weekends. Um, but like you find people like season ticket holders for that. Like they'll be comparing you to a team from like 2009, and you're like, like I got no idea. Um, but I think there's a lot of people that it means a lot to them because it's been a part of their life for a while. Um, and so it's really cool to be like that next generation of that program, just for those people who have been paying attention for so long.
Does the crowd size and the energy like impact your performance?
I think I, I don't think it impacts the performance specifically, right? Because like, I think I'd probably tell you the same, even if there was five people there. Um, but it certainly impacts like the passion that you might have. Like having all those people there will definitely evoke something in you. It's like you want to go out there and you just want to play with maybe a bigger smile on your face, or you want to yell a little louder. It also comes from like the dugout. Like again, we have a lot of people in that dugout. It's a big team, and our head coach is always talking about like you got to support that pitcher. You have to bring your pitcher into the dugout, right? Like you have to be the guys. So yeah, it just makes you play with more passion for sure. And it's a
Um,
level.
do we got any more questions we got for him? Well, I guess if we good?
I think so. I think that about
Okay,
covers
well,
it.
Thomas, thank you so much again for giving us your time for this interview. I know you definitely have a busy schedule this semester, so just want to say thank you again. And yeah, I look forward to catching up with you whenever you guys come to play Clemson. I know it's not this year, but
Yeah.
whatever in the following years, I'll definitely hit you up And thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank all you guys. I hope you guys have a good second semester, and
Yeah, and
I
good
appreciate.
luck with your
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Oh, I think he glitched out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
The poor poor
Uh,
connection.
It was the right time though.
yeah, we're heading. We're headed down to UNC. Or Charlotte, should I say, and then UNC this weekend. So kind of in the back roads. But,
Yeah.
Oh no, you're good.
You're
You're good.
good.
um, for sure. But thank you guys for your time. I'll out now, but you guys have a good night.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
y'all.
Thank you.
We'll see ya.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you guys so much for listening to both of our segments. We had a great time talking to Thomas and hearing what he had to say about the about his team dynamic and things like that. So yeah, that was all things fan experience. Anybody have anything they want to say?
It's great being a fan.
It is amazing being a fan. Okay, I think next time we are talking about sports in marginalized communities.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, we're
Be
super
sure to
excited
tune
about
in.
that. What did you say?
I said be sure to tune in to the.
Be sure to tune in for
I
sure.
missed it.
We'll have another special guest.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery, you know. Um, who will it be? So yeah, we will see you guys in, I don't know, how long? Like,
A month? Maybe, well, not a month. A week.
we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Bye.